themselves in tough situations, to make sure we help them navigate that part of the college experience, just like we try to help them navigate everything in the experience, whether it be strength conditioning or, academics, nutrition, sleep, recovery, overall wellness, whatever. So that's just one other aspect, and it's been really good for us at Clemson.
Coach, to your left, first row. Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com right here, Coach. Just what you can say about going into this season and hiring from within at the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, your thoughts on Brandon Streeter as well as Wes Goodwin, and why they were the right fit to lead the offensive and defensive sides of the ball.
Yeah, first of all, it's not always feasible to promote from within. That's sometimes I've had to go outside multiple times over my career, but I think it's best when you can. But it's got to be the right time, the right fit, and all those boxes checked. But this was an easy decision for me. Wes Goodwin has been with me since December of '08, and I've never been with a guy more prepared. And I'm well aware of what the headlines would be when I named Wes Goodwin to be the D coordinator at Clemson. Everybody's hitting Google like, who the heck is that? But he is so deserving and has already done an amazing job. And I'm glad that we had an opportunity to go through a bowl season and game under our belt and all that, and watching him, just be himself. And probably the best part for me was, letting the defensive guys know, like, hey, here's what we're going to do, and their enthusiasm and their excitement, because they know Wes. They know who he is. They know what he brings to the table. And now to be able to have the hands-on experience going through a bowl, going through the spring and the summer, man, we're ready to roll. And he's going to be awesome. He's just got to be himself. That's all I need him to be. But easy decision. He deserved it. He earned it. I think when you don't promote people that deserve it and earn it and have earned it, there's a breakdown in culture. And same thing offensively. Brandon Streeter has been with me since December of 14 when we played in the bowl game against Oklahoma there in Orlando. And he coached Deshaun for 2 years. He recruited Trevor, coached him all 3 years. He recruited DJ, he's recruited Klubnik. And, he deserves it. He's turned down multiple coordinator jobs in and out of our league, the SEC, NFL. He's had multiple opportunities, but he's been our passing game coordinator for a few years now. And with Tony getting the job at Virginia, again, he deserved it, and he's earned it. And but also being able to create new opportunity for some other support staff and some new people like Nick Eason and Kyle Richardson, joining in different roles as well. So it's a lot of fun. Mickey Kahn moving into a different role.
Coach, center of the aisle, third row to the right.
Royal Howell, Carolina Blitz. Coach, can you just speak on the loyalty within your program? You have players jumping in and out of the transfer portal versus going through the struggle and the grind. Can you just speak on just players, just your overall opinion on the transfer portal?
I think the greatest asset you have and what's most important is your players. I've always told our coaches, and I hold our coaches accountable for who come. That's why we don't offer many guys, because we're not a catch and release type program. We're a till graduation do we part program. And, it's not me just saying that. We're 11 out of 12 years top 10 academically. Clemson, Duke, and Northwestern. We got a 98% graduation rate. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's the main thing in our program. And we recruit young people that value education, that align with the things that we offer. And then we talk about serving their heart, not their talent. It's a relationship-driven place, and it's always been that way. And so, from time to time, it's the right thing for some guys to move on, whether they're a graduate and maybe they just want a little more opportunity to play or whatever. But if we do a good job, loving our players, serving our players, making sure they have a good experience, making sure that they understand the big picture of development and growth and the long-term value of what we offer, they're going to stay. And I think this team exemplifies that more than anything. I mean, we had 109 guys go through spring, and 109 guys are still here. Not one person left. And there were only 4 of the Power 65 teams that didn't have somebody leave during spring or after spring. And I think that says a lot about what our players think about our coaches, but more importantly, what they think about their experience and their love of Clemson, their love of our culture and each other. And and you got guys, I mean, even you got a defensive end position. I mean, we got 4 DNs that can start for anybody in the country. I mean, and they're all seniors. Miles is a junior, but Miles will be a senior. No pun intended there. I said Miles twice, didn't I? But anyway, you have to have a certain level of selflessness, and you have to have self-awareness, and that's what this team has. And man, that's special. That's not easy to have in today's world. It's all about me type of stuff, So that's a credit to the character of our team, the leadership of our team, the culture of our locker room, the accountability, and their love for each other. So, we brought one guy in from the portal. I call him a boomerang portal, and Hunter Johnson, because he started with us, and he's coming back to be a third-team quarterback for us and finish up his career at Clemson.
Left side, just about the 5th row. Please stand.
Coach Tony Siracusa from Last Word on College Football. Either rightly or unjustifiably, Clemson fan boards have a lot of opinions on DJ and his on-field performance the last 2 years. Tell us about your level of confidence in him, as is given by the fact you brought him to media days as one of the faces of your program.
Well, they had a lot of great opinions his freshman year, didn't they? They wanted me to bench Trevor for DJ. I had some of them. I think we should sit Trevor. He's not playing great. Let's put this DJ. He set records as a freshman, did an amazing job for us, and then last year it was a struggle. Like I've told DJ, that comes from being the quarterback. It comes from being the head coach. You get a lot of praise, and you get all the criticism, and that just comes with it. That's part of comes with the territory, so to speak. But last year, as I've said many times, I've never had a young quarterback, a first-year starter, who didn't make mistakes. But the past young quarterbacks that I've had, the last 2 young quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Trevor, they made mistakes, but we were much better around them. All right. Whereas with DJ, we were not very good around him, and so his mistakes were magnified. And then I think this guy's all he's ever done is win. Now all of a sudden it's disappointment. There's adversity. There's some challenges. There's some criticism, and how do you respond? And it's disappointing. And next thing you know, people question you, and maybe you lose a little confidence, or you try to do too much. And that's all part of maturing. And he's going to play football for a long time. I don't need anybody on a message board to tell me who DJ is. I know who he is. And just like Terry Don Phillip, I won 6 games my second year as the head coach. I won 6 games as the head coach. And there was a lot of people on them message boards wanting me gone, right? And the next year we won the ACC for the first time in 20 years. We won 10 games for the first time in 20 years. Now we win 10 games, they want to fire me. So I'm just saying, Terry Don Phillips had a lot of confidence in me, as his coach. I got a lot of confidence in DJ. He's special. He's going to graduate in December. Unbelievable young man, on and off the field, one of the best leaders that we've had come through, incredibly committed. He's got some scars on him and some shrapnel and some wounds. That's going to serve him well as he goes into this year. And it's a game of performance, and we can't change that. I can talk about how great he is all day long. He's got to go do it. But I believe in him, and there ain't no doubt about that. I know who he is, and we're going to be better around him. And that's the first thing we got to do is we got to be better around him. He's got to learn from his mistakes. He's got to play better in certain areas that he knows, and I believe he's going to do it.
Our last question for Coach will come to your right, about the fifth row.
Greg Medias, Charlottesville Daily Progress. After Tony Elliott was hired at Virginia, he said you both spoke about his decision to potentially take the job. What advice did you give him, and how prepared do you think he is for this opportunity?
Well, I told him he needs to take the job. I told him this is the right one. I felt like he was a great fit for Virginia, and I felt like Virginia was a great fit for Tony and his family. So, he's turned down several head jobs, over the last few years, but I felt like Virginia was the right fit for him. And as far as how prepared he is, he's incredibly prepared. I've been with Tony, 19 years. So I coached Tony. He was a captain for me. He's been around a long time now, and he knows what it looks like. Incredibly smart, and is a very gifted coach. So there's no greater teacher than experience. Doing something a lot like DJ. Going through this past year and gaining all that experience. There's no greater teacher than that. But as far as being prepared, he's as prepared as anybody could be to go do it for the first time.
Coach, thank you. We can switch up with KJ now if we like. KJ, we'll have about 5 minutes with you. Again, folks, if you would, if you've already identified yourselves, please reintroduce yourselves to our student athletes. We're going to start, KJ, on the left side, second row or so.
Hey KJ, Grayson Mann, ClemsonSportsNews.com. I just want to talk to what were the factors that led to your decision to return to Clemson, and what do you think that decision that speaks on what the Clemson culture means to you and the team as a whole?
Yeah, for my decision coming back, a big factor was definitely Coach Swinney. Obviously talks with my family and himself, but the biggest one was really just accepting the challenge of not only raising the bar for a defensive line myself in this defense, but really just getting to compete with so many talented guys. I think it's going to give me a great learning lesson going into the next level, being in a room with the guys who are just as talented as I am. And it's up to this point, it's raising my level of accountability and everything else on the football field, being with guys like Miles, X, Maskell. It's definitely made me a better player. And that was a challenge that was given to me in the offseason, and it was just my job to just accept it.
KJ, right in front of you to your left, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You mentioned Coach Swinney. What is it about his leadership that you take with you going into this season? Maybe those biggest learning lessons from the coaching staff, from Coach, as well as maybe some other people that have left something with you in a special way that you can take into a game when you need to.
Yeah, I think the biggest lessons I've learned from Coach, really just throughout my entire career, is how he treats all of us. He tells us all the time he's not going to treat us equally, but he's going to treat us fairly. And, that's really just a testament of learning and getting to know each player, each staff member he has, and doing the best he can to bring out the best in them. And that's probably the biggest lesson I learned in trying to lead, help lead the team in this defense is you can't really attack everybody the exact same way. People learn differently. People, understand things differently. And I have to get to know my teammates and my coaches in order to get the best out of everybody. And that's probably been the best thing I've learned from Coach Swinney over my time.
KJ, left side, third row.
Hey, Bob Holliday, WRL.com. KJ, the commissioner said this morning that bowls are important. You're one of just 2 ACC teams to win a bowl game. You won 10 games, and yet you've heard pundits and fans are calling 2021 a down year. How motivating is that?
That's awesome. I love that, honestly, because, like Coach Swinney said, we was about to help him pack. He's about to get fired for only winning 10 games last year. But like I've been saying all day, it's been awesome that that's the standard that we have for this program, that all the success we've had over the years has come to a point that now if we win 10 games, that's unacceptable. And I don't want that to change. I love what we were able to do last season with so much adversity that hit. And every game is important, especially, the last game of the season. Playing for a bowl, no matter what it is another one that we get to hang up and say that we're victorious in. And we took that very seriously, and we're glad to get the win in the Cheez-It Bowl.
KJ, a question from the podium. A bachelor's degree in 3 years and a master's degree in 1 year. Where does that academic drive come from?
Definitely from Keith Henry and Nicole Henry, no doubt about it. Love my parents. More Nicole Henry than Keith. There's no doubt about that either. But honestly, I just saw my time at Clemson as filled with gratitude. And I think really anytime someone's going to take the time and the energy to invest in me, it's only right that I give, my best foot forward. And that, included me graduating in 3 years. Didn't really have any aspirations to get my master's, but knowing what I want to do in the future and the fact that that's the bar that my parents set for myself and my family, I knew I wanted to reach that as well. And as long as Coach Swinney going to keep paying for it, I'm going to keep learning. So we're going to do that.
So with that, is there a doctorate in your future at some point?
Yeah, ain't no doctorate though. Ain't no doctorate.
Dr. Henry's got a nice...
I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but there's no doctorate. There's no doctorate coming.
Dr. Henry's got a nice ring to it. Other questions for KJ? If not, we'll keep it at the podium. KJ, 88 career tackles, 10 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 3 fumble recoveries. Is there something you've not accomplished statistically that you would like to this year?
When it comes from a statistics standpoint, I think there's a lot of things that I haven't accomplished that I want to. What exactly those are, I'm not sure myself. I think, when it comes to goals and what I aspire to do, usually aligns with just the player I want to be. And I want to be the best teammate I can, the best leader I can for my guys, and really just be as consistent as possible. Usually when I align myself in those traits and try and be the best in those areas, statistically that shows up as well. And, in order to be the best of that this year, I think great stats will come from that.
Last question before we let you go. Wake surfing? What's the secret to being a good wake surfer?
It's all about balance, number one. And number two, it's really just getting over the I can't do it. I think I have a lot of teammates, a couple to my left, who can't get up on a wake surfboard. And half the problem is they just tell themselves they can't do it. And that's kind of what I figured out is, I'm going to get this thing done. So it's definitely, being on the lake in Clemson is what I love to do, especially during the summer, because there's nothing else to do. And it's something I enjoy, no doubt about it.
Thank you. Let's switch it up with Jordan and see if Jordan can handle the podium as well as you did. Jordan McFadden, our graduate offensive tackle for the next couple of minutes. Who would like a question for Jordan? We're going to go left side, second row. He'll stand once the mic gets there.
Hey, Jordan, Grayson, Clemson Sports News. You were one of the 4 deep linemen on either side of the ball to start all 13 games for the Tigers. What did it mean for you to find that personal consistency within the lineup?
Yeah, I know it's definitely a tough year with injuries and everything like that. But, being a leader of the offense, being a leader of the offensive line, just trying to, be out there for my teammates. I love to play. I love to compete. I love to win. And it was really important to me that no matter how I felt, I was out there with the rest of my guys, trying to do the best that I can and be as successful as I could be.
We saw a hand go up on the far left. Sir, if you would raise your hand so we can get the microphone to you. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, David Hood with TigerNet.com. You've got a new offensive line coach in Thomas Austin. What does he bring to the table that's a little bit different than Robbie Caldwell? How is he the same, and then how has he kind of taken to the job?
Yeah, I love Coach Austin. He's genuine. He cares about us. And, he's played in the NFL. He's been, where I want to go eventually. And, he has a ton of knowledge. He's not necessarily a big yeller or anything like that, but, he gets his message across, very well. And I'm super excited to play for him. It'll be a lot of fun. I think that, this offensive line would definitely, be better because of him. So, I'm super excited to play for Coach Austin. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Jordan, right in front of you to your left, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Jordan, just what you can say about the culture of Clemson and what is your favorite part of being a part of this program, because it just seems like the air's different, handle yourselves differently, and you also seem to have fun at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely a ton of fun. That's, a huge reason why, I came back to Clemson. But I would say the biggest thing is just my teammates, the love I have for them. You know, they're awesome. You know, they work extremely hard. They push themselves. They push me to make me better. And, you know, it's just always fun, you know, competing with a bunch of guys who love to play the game and, you know, who love each other. So I would say my teammates are just a great example of our culture here and, you know, how they carry themselves off the field, on the field. And, you know, just being in the locker room with guys like that, you know, makes you want to, you know, continue to be at Clemson.
Jordan, right side, very last row.
Luke Winstill, Clemson Sports Talk. So for you going up against such a dominant defense in practice, how would you describe those battles and what that's like from your perspective?
Yeah, those battles are they can be a lot of fun, and also they can not be a lot of fun at times. But you know, that defensive line is special. You know, they're so deep. There's guys at every position, multiple guys at every position, and you know, honestly, that makes the offensive line better. That makes me better competing against, you know, the best guys in the country day in and day out. And you know, I'm excited, you know, to watch that group. Excited to, you know, see, you know, how they, you know, go out this season and, you know, handle business. I genuinely think they'll be the best defensive line in the country, and you know, I'm excited to watch it.
Jordan, from the podium, just 68 miles from Dorman High School to Memorial Stadium. What's it been like playing so close to home?
Yeah, no, it's been genuinely amazing. Growing up in South Carolina, always being a Clemson fan, I take a lot of pride in, you know, my performance and, you know, how I play. You know, being from South Carolina and so many people, you know, rooting for me, cheering for me. I think, you know, I owe it to them, you know, to go out there and put my best foot forward day in and day out each weekend. So I take a lot of pride in being from South Carolina and, you know, wearing that helmet.
Thank you. Jordan, you can switch places with DJ. And we will spend our last 5 or 6 minutes with our quarterback. We're going to give your first question, DJ, left side. Nick, we're going to find the gentleman raising his hand high in the air. About the 7th row, please. There we go. You got it in the middle. Thank you.
DJ, I'm originally from Los Angeles, so I saw you at St. John Bosco in your high school days, saw you up close. Talk about your progression as a quarterback to where you are now, and in a conference that is so heavy with talented quarterbacks, where do you fit in amongst all of that?
First and foremost, yeah, I would definitely say that in the ACC we have a lot of great quarterbacks, but a lot of great teams, and to be able to play in a conference with such great quarterbacks all around, I feel like every single team has a well-known great quarterback, and you know, it's exciting, man. You know, a lot of those teams are going to play this year, and with the great quarterbacks. So for me, it's super exciting to be able to know that there's other quarterbacks in this league that are really great, and to be among one of those great quarterbacks in this league.
DJ, just up the aisle to the right at the edge.
Hey, DJ, Miles Williams of the three-point conversion. I had a chat with you earlier, and I called you Slim Cinco. How big has health and fitness been for you this offseason?
It's been huge, man. You know, dropping a lot of weight. It was one of my big goals this offseason. You know, for me, I felt like I got, after the Cheez-It Bowl, weighed myself. I was like, oh, man, I'm a little too heavy coming off of it. So I wanted to get some weight down and be able to come into this year in the best shape of my life, just be able to so I can put my best foot forward.
DJ, still going to stay on the right side there at the aisle. Yes, sir.
Royal Howell, Carolina Blitz. DJ, right here. The commissioner mentioned earlier the NIL has had a big-time effect on collegiate sports in general. Also mentioned in suggesting that maybe Washington should get involved. I know you have multiple NIL deals as well. Do you think that there should be a type of cap on how much a player can generate based off the play on the field? Or what's your opinion on that?
I'd probably say my opinion is I don't know about too much about what the commissioner said about the cap and all that, but for me, I know that for us as a Clemson and here our program, Clemson has a program that everyone that does make money on our team, everyone's happy for each other. And I feel like in our locker room that everyone supports people if you do make some money from NIL, that as long as you keep football the main thing in your life and that you don't let NIL become the main focus, then I feel like NIL can be perfectly fine in a college football setting. But once you make NIL the main topic and it's more important than football, then I feel like then someone has to come and step in and make an issue for that.
First row, left side.
DJ, just what you can say about how Kyle Richardson has improved your game and what you've taken from him and that leadership going into this season with him being your passing game coordinator.
Oh, yeah, Coach Rich. Shout out to my boy, Coach Rich. He's done a great job being a pass game coordinator, him and Coach Streeter working together. You know, I think the biggest thing for me, knowing with Coach Rich, is that the comfortability level with him. I have a great relationship with him and Coach Streeter, but just having open conversations with him and be able to speak my mind, be able to have him speak his mind to me, and just be able to have those open conversations to where we have that comfortability level with each other.
We're going to go right side.
Right here, DJ. Cortland Griffin with the three-point conversion. Last year, you opted for the gray suit. You had the minimal chain. This year, you got the brown suit with the big Jesus piece on. Is that a testament to your confidence going into this year?
I guess so. I know I like different suits. So this year I wanted to go with a brown suit, double-breasted with a double-breasted jacket, a little bit of blue underneath, and yeah, I got a new piece, a new Jesus piece. So I guess you could say that.
DJ, left side, second row. Sir, if you would please stand.
Gary McDaniel from Clemson Sports News. DJ, when you came to Clemson, you had Trevor Lawrence already sitting there. He kind of welcomed you into the program, took you under his wing, and you competed together, you practiced together, and he took you under his wing and helped him. When Kate came into the program, what did you tell him as he stepped on the campus?
I tried to tell him the same stuff Trevor told me. Try to give him, first and foremost, Kate is a great player, a great teammate, and a great leader. He brings a lot of affection, brings the youth to the quarterback room, also to the team, and I'm super excited to see him play. But kind of just trying to give him wise words that kind of Trevor did, and just trying to help him along his process, and just trying to give him just different steps to be able to help him out and just be able to be a great player.
Right side, very back of the room.
Luke Winslow, Clemson Sports Talk. DJ, for you, Coach Dabo talked about how experience is a great teacher. What did your experience last year teach you, and what do you take away?
I think for the most part, what I learned from last season is the experience of just getting the comfortability level of just going through a whole season and be able to be a starter the whole season. You know, being a starter for a whole season instead of just starting for 2 games as my freshman year taught me a lot about just how to manage it, how to manage everything, how to manage media, manage going in preparation of a game, going through just a whole season. I feel like, for the most part, that was the biggest thing I learned.
DJ, last question from the podium. Your teammates and friends call you Big Sweet Tooth. Why is that?
Man, I do love sweets. That was one thing I did have to cut out to lose a lot of weight. I stopped eating dessert, sweets. Probably haven't ate one. I started eating one. I had to stop for like 6 months, from like January to June. I didn't have any sweets, so that was a big part.
Is there a favorite one that you miss?
Yeah, I love ice cream. Yeah, I think that's a big one. I'm a big ice cream fan.
Any flavor, all flavors?
I like birthday cake and cookies and cream.
Folks, with that, we'll excuse Clemson. Tigers, good luck this year. Do appreciate the help. Folks, we're going to be back at this tomorrow with our Coastal Division.